Welcome to the Writer Reads Chronicles of a Dark God, Book 2, Dark God's Rise, Chapter 34, Sophriel's Rest. Silence fell over the hall as the elder gods thought on his question. Silence, that is, save for the sound of each god's element shifting. Adriel waited, aware of the stone walls around him, the wide hall and its dais stretching in either direction, and aware of the time trickling away in the realm he served. He was about to ask what other options they had when the speaker nodded. Any one of them would risk dormancy to defeat Walshira, he answered, adding softly, any one of them. Then I'll try to find one, Adriel told him, hesitating before he raised the next problem. How do we get Walshira from one gem to the other? There is a spell for that, the speaker answered, but it will take more than a few powerful magicians to cast it. You would need representatives adept in each of the three magics, arcane, elemental, and wild. The last of these will be difficult to find. Nevertheless, I will find at least one, Adriel promised. Is there anything else I need to take care of? Yes, the elder god replied. You will need the key enabling you to pass through the garden's defences, and a new keeper for the citadel that houses it. You have appointed one, have you not? We have, Adriel agreed, and a guardian for him. We'll train other guardians and appoint warriors to guard the prison once Walshira is secure. The speaker inclined his head. We're much relieved to hear that, he told them. I will send for the spell scrolls you need, if you will wait. He stopped mid-sentence as the marble doors swung silently open, and Adriel turned to see what had caused the interruption. Another winged messenger stood there. No, does not stand, Adriel corrected himself, observing the serpentine coils of the creature's body. This messenger had golden eyes, and its body shimmered like a gem-coloured rainbow. It surveyed the gathered gods before making the briefest of obeisances to the speaker. The younger Pantheon's chosen has arrived in the council room of Caranth's lord, it reported. Priests of the younger Pantheon and the city's magic users were also converging. The time is nearing, my lords, my ladies. Thank you, messenger, the speaker intoned. You have done well. Rest, if you wish, in the warm springs of Athrazar. Refreshments will be brought. The serpentine messenger dropped its jaw in what might have been a smile, and then swirled back along its own length and departed through the marble doors. The doors closed as soon as it was clear, and the elder gods regarded one another for a long moment before the speaker turned to address the goddess of water. My lady, he said, the potions, if you please. The goddess smiled and bowed her head in agreement, burbling a soft call in a tongue Adriel didn't recognize. The creature that answered her summons was something he did recognize. It resembled the water elementals of the world he ruled. Any doubts he might have had about the truth of the elder god's origins scattered at the sight of it. The creature glided out from behind the goddess's seat and slithered toward him. At first Adriel wondered how it could be so active outside a body of water, and then he realized the goddess's presence would be sufficient in and of itself. The water elemental halted a foot in front of him, raising its head to reveal the leather bag it had carried tucked between its chin and its chest. Adriel reached forward to take it, and as his hands closed about the bag's strap, the elemental gave a contented gurgle and pulled away. The gods laughed at his mortification as the creature let the strap slide through itself and into Adriel's hands. Still gurgling, the elemental slid back to its mistress's side. Adriel turned back to the speaker, catching sight of movement in the meeting hall's walls. As he pivoted toward it, a creature appeared. It was made of the same slick stone as the building. The speaker looked up and rumbled a greeting to the beast as it crossed the floor to greet them. The beast replied with a similar rumble and glanced back at the untarnished marble it had left behind. Rumbling again with satisfaction, it dropped a satchel at the speaker's feet. The speaker ground out something that Adriel interpreted as thanks, then stooped to collect the bag. The elemental looped itself forward to peer cautiously at Adriel. Here, the speaker said, proffering the bag. This contains the spell scrolls you will need in order to guard yourselves against the protection surrounding the Old One's prison. It also contains those scrolls with which to contain Walshira as you meld the new gem into the old. He hesitated, as though weighing what he was about to say. I also do not think it advisable for you to tell the elemental lords you approach for aid that there will be a reward for granting it, since you will not be able to cast the removal spell until after the Old One has been caged once more. Which means, Adriel asked, which means any who aid you will be susceptible to dormancy. Only after they reawaken will the potion's effects be felt. You're saying there will be a 100-year lapse, Adriel concluded, between their sacrifice and their reward. Exactly. Adriel shrugged. Then it will be as you say, he agreed, and waited for the speaker's next words. You should go now, it directed. As it is, you'll be hard-pressed to return before your people confront Walshira. The journey is longer than it seems. Adriel bowed. Thank you, my lord, he answered, then bowed toward the other deities. My lords, my ladies. He turned toward the marble doors, feeling the gods watching every step as he departed. The messenger that had brought him was waiting at the foot of the stairs. It eyed the satchels he'd slung about his shoulders and snorted. It went well, then? Very well, Adriel replied, descending the stairs to reach it. Behind him he heard the doors closing, but didn't look back. Instead he mounted, settling himself firmly across its shoulders. We must hurry, he told the creature. That fact has already been conveyed to me, the messenger replied. I will make the best speed I am able. It is all I ask, Adriel replied, and took a deep breath as it launched. The messenger sprang directly into the air, not even bothering to leave the courtyard before taking off. Adriel felt the sudden power of the creature's downbeats as its wings began to move. This time there was none of the circling the messenger had employed when they'd arrived. This time the creature drove straight up, before leveling out to take them through the shimmering curtain of a wall that formed the perimeter of the Pantheon's self-imposed exile. Your eyes, my lord, the messenger warned as they reached it. Adriel obeyed, seconds before the creature plunged into the maelstrom of colour. This time he knew what to expect, but was still unprepared for the increased intensity of the sensations that assaulted him. The wall has greater hindrances for those who wish to leave. The messenger's voice was calm, calming his mind and granting him courage as he gritted his teeth against the attack. They came too quickly to the world's epicenter and the blessed, torturous relief of nothing. Then they dove into the turmoil that was the wall beyond. Adriel gave a whoop of delight when they finally broke through the other side, and the messenger snorted in amusement. Its wings beat with renewed enthusiasm as though the wall had taxed its spirit also. They flew in silence, passing the elemental realms of fire and earth, where their attention was drawn by a new light gleaming in the distance of the space between the realms. The messenger's wing beats faltered, and Adriel thought he heard it gasp. As the light grew brighter, the creature's wing beats slowed, and an aura of uncertainty built around it. Puzzled, the god leaned forward to speak. What is it? He asked. The great lord. The messenger's whisper was filled with a mix of trepidation and awe. It halted. What is it? Adriel repeated. The light grew brighter still, and the power of the being travelling within it lapped at them. The messenger dropped its shoulder, tipping him to one side. Dismount, it ordered. Dismount and stand with me. Kneel when the great lord passes. Kneel? Adriel thought, sliding from the creature's back. Who is this great lord that the messengers stop and make obeisance when he passes? The light grew around them, and he peered at the light, trying desperately to pierce its glare. The lap of power became an almost overwhelming surge, and he startled with instinctive fear, unable to take his eyes from the rapidly intensifying light. Adriel focused harder, trying to see past its blinding brightness. Kneel, the messenger urged, curving a wing around his shoulders. Kneel now! When the young god hesitated a fraction too long, the creature used its wing to draw him to its side. The flaring light was almost upon them, its glare brighter than any light the young god knew. Desperate to see what or who made it, Adriel tried to push the wing aside, but the messenger only drew its wing tighter, pinning him until he subsided. Still he craned forward, trying to see beyond that gold and silver veil. Something rode within that glow, but that was not all. Something, no, someone else rode with them. Adriel strained against the messenger's wing, trying to catch a glimpse of who it might be. What he saw before the wing obscured his vision shocked him to stillness. Sophriel, he whispered, feeling as if a hollow had opened in his heart. He pushed forward only to be held in place. Sophriel? Kneel, the messenger ordered, its voice soft. The great Lord has found your sister's soul and retrieved it. She is safe from Walshira now. Its wing tightened. Kneel, I beseech thee. Adriel did not move. He could not. His body was numb, and that numbness extended into the nothing in his heart. Only the gentle persistence of the messenger's wing guided him to his knees. As it knelt beside him, and its covering darkness hid him from the joyous shining of his sister's face. Inside the shrouding comfort of that darkness, Adriel felt the messenger kneeling at his side, and sensed the greatest part of the light pass him by. Somewhere, amidst the rushing sound of wind and beating wings, Adriel heard his sister laugh. When the light and sound died away, and the messenger rose to its feet and took its wing from around him, Adriel remained on his knees, with his head bowed. He felt a dampness on his face, and knew it to be tears. Adriel wiped them gently away with his sleeve. But it was as he raised his head and lifted a hand to the messenger's shoulder for support that he saw a secondary glow in the space around them. Escorts to the great Lord, the messenger explained before the younger god could ask. They are not forbidden to move beyond the realm. He paused, letting the news settle into Adriel's mind. It is how the elder gods confirmed events surrounding Walshira's attempt to escape. The creature said no more, but pushed the leading edge of its wing beneath the young god's shoulder and helped him rise. Together they watched the escort of coloured creatures dance by them. Only when their light had faded did the messenger speak again. It is time we left, it said. We have tarried too long here as it is. I saw Sophriel, Adriel told him. I saw my sister. She has earned her rest, the messenger assured him, and earned it well.